Welcome to Unapologetically Anxious Me, Confessions of a Haitian Girl, the podcast where I blend life, love, sex, and relationships with mental health, social issues, and history, all from my very unabashed perspective. Join me, Joe Ciceron, as we unravel the power of vulnerability, celebrate storytelling, our history, and connect with incredible individuals who have tales to share. Let's dive deep into our essence and the narratives that mold us, because in this space, we believe in the magic of authenticity and the beauty of being unapologetically you. Welcome to another episode of Unapologetically Anxious Me, Confessions of a Haitian Girl. I'm your host, Joe, and today I have such an exciting guest with me, and I'm pretty sure you have seen her all over the internet. Her name is Yuri, make sure I'm pronouncing it correctly, Lamasbella?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know if you go by impersonator, but she tends to impersonate the Kardashians. That's the first thing I've ever seen of her on TikTok. Actually, I first seen the video. So how would you describe yourself?
Yeah, I'm pretty laid back, love having fun, and I have a very humorous personality. So I think that's how the characters come out and they're developed. And I'm a very creative thinker as well. So content creating is just came naturally. I've always been obsessed with the process of filming and editing and just seeing your vision come to life. So I'm very free-spirited, and I think you can see it through my content.
Absolutely. When I first saw your skits, you do the Kardashian skits, how did you actually land on choosing the Kardashians? Was that just random? Did you do other characters before?
No, it really was just random. I had finished watching the Kardashians, an episode of Keeping Up. That was back in 2020 or 2021, where they still had Keeping Up. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was the way that they set up reality TV and the framing with the dramatic music, just the way that the editing of reality TV I always thought was so funny. So I tried doing a skit with impersonating the Kardashians. It was really just out of coincidence because I just finished watching a show. Mm-hmm. And I felt like I could recreate the dramatic scene because it was such a mundane conversation. It was so funny to me. And that's really kind of how the first video came about. And then it went viral, and then I did it again, and then people loved it. And then through time, we've developed these characters, of what is Khloe, Kim, and Kourtney, which is really them personified through parodies, but little glimpses of me and my humor come out through them. Mm-hmm. Since it's an overly dramatized version of them, I think the overly dramatized part is me and what I put into it.
Yeah, I think it's super cool to watch. So you said that was around 2021?
Yeah, so 2021 during the pandemic. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so right around the TikTok boom. So tell me about, how did that, what was that experience like? How did that feel, going from overnight sensation and feeling this experience of becoming the Kardashian person who's on the internet? Because that's that seeing your face everywhere and how you are captivating to so many people, but you're so funny. And I think what's crazy is that you've taken these people who are so sensationalized, and a lot of people have a lot of opinions on this family, and they don't always love them, they don't always like them, but through you, it's heartwarming, it's funny, and it's a whole different type of situation when you're watching it through you. And I love watching your videos. So what was that experiencing that from beginning to end, and did you know that this was what it was going to be like for you?
I absolutely had no idea it was going to blow up the way that it did. I had a couple comedic viral videos before doing the Kardashians, but nothing of this level. And I didn't have like a name when those videos went viral. It was just, some random girl posting and her video went viral. But I never really thought it could get reached to this level as it did. And every milestone that we hit, we're still hitting milestones with the follower count, with the view count. So it's always a shock to me, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is what these videos have done, especially when people reach out to me and are like, your videos, took me out of a really dark time. Thank you so much. Like, you are the only reason I laughed today. And that makes me feel so good. So even impactful moments like that, they're constant reminders of like just the amount of impact these videos have done. And every time I go to an event, I'm like, oh my God, why am I at this event? Like, I can't believe that these videos is what took me there. So I don't know that it has sat with me fully yet, the impact that these videos have done and continue to do. So I just try to have fun with it and, keep my feet on the ground and stay humble through it all. Because you never really know if one day it's all to go away. So, I always just try to have fun with it and do the most that I can with the opportunities that it's given me.
Mm-hmm. And I know that your background is Mexican.
Yeah, I'm Mexican.
So what does that feel like, and what has been the response from the Latinx community, like having this opportunity, and like what does that mean to you to like be doing this on such a grand level and having that success in your family and your community? What does that feel like?
It feels amazing. I always love my culture, and I love being able to represent that culture. And there's a lot of being in the space. There's a lot of Mexican and Mexican American Latin creators. So just to be able to be part of that space means a lot to me, because I always want to give back to my culture. Everything ties back to my culture. I'm very deeply rooted in any culture, with anything, so I obviously have really high respects for mine. But anything that's like so deeply rooted in culture, like I love. So I just feel so grateful that I can be a part of that. And anytime I get to collab with any like fellow Latin creator, Mexican creator, like you could just feel the love in the room. We're just like instantly connected. And it feels really great. I feel like I did such a big thing. I was the first family member in my family to graduate, and I thought that was huge. But this is just has it on such a higher level. And children that are in my Mexican, they look up to me, and it means so much, and I never ever want to let them down.
And I think that that's what's really beautiful about the industry that we're in, of content creation in general. And while what you're doing might seem like silly in the moment when you're impersonating Chloe and you're taking off, Post-its off your nails.
Yeah.
Like, I look at it like this, because I was recently just speaking to another content creator that I was interviewing, and I was telling her about how like we don't realize like what we're doing and what we're putting, even if it's on the smallest scale, like how little of an impact that makes on people out there and what other people are going through. And you mentioned that earlier, because I have been like, the last few years for me have been probably the worst and most tumultuous years of like my life. And I've been up here in Minnesota. I've been away from my family. I've experienced a lot of discrimination and racism. I've also lost my mother in the last year. So beyond the pandemic years, I've also experienced a lot of loss and grief in a variety of ways. And what I've found in my content creation is that I found an escape in that. I found escapism, and even researching and finding other content creators like you, and finding that escape through what you're doing and watching that content and taking that in has made it so much easier. I spent a year and a half before my mom passed away going back and forth to Florida and spending long stints in the hospital, and just going through a video and watching those crazy like skits made me feel better when I was stuck in a room and had nothing else to watch and had to get away from that sadness. You know, that wasn't a moment of like being able to like, you know, unplug from that. And that means so much in such a hard, dark moment, you know. And I think that we don't like when we're doing these things, especially when it doesn't come easy, it's not overnight, it's years and years of like plugging at it. I think that it's easy to get discouraged, and it's easy to like think that it's not going to happen, or that no one's paying attention. But I think that what you do, what we do, what so many people are doing out there is big, and it's making such a huge difference in marginalized communities that don't get the chance to be seen on a grand scale. And imagine a Mexican woman doing impersonations and being hugely famous and successful at it about an Armenian family, Armenian American family, you know, and look at what you do, and it touches people and it makes a huge difference. And I think that's amazing. I think that's incredible. And I think that it's so much more than just impersonations. It's so much more than that, though it's pretty damn hilarious. Like, I also like the other videos that you do too. The videos of your son where he like goes to school and he's like, this is what my mom said.
Yeah, my mom said this, and it's like so out of context. How relatable
my
is
kid
that?
does that too.
You know, it took that first video to realize that we're all in the trenches as moms.
Yeah.
You know, because our kids are really our biggest downfalls right now.
And you could walk into those situations completely unknowingly without even realizing that they're taking things so literally. All the time. And I do those things like you find yourself explaining things you never thought you would have to explain, like
Yeah, right.
and you're just like, oh, okay, so I should have to explain that we're not literally going on we're going on a vacation to this place, and this is what we're doing, this is where we're going, and we're not taking off this person's head. Like it's like you have to be you have to be very literal about what you're saying, because otherwise they think that you're committing murder or you're explaining it to somebody.
I know, it's crazy the amount of comments. I love reading the comments and seeing like oh yes, my kid did this, my kid did that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I would die. So it's so funny. I love them. Yeah, I love those too. A lot of people resonate with them, and I love it when the community can come together and be like, oh my God, this happened to me, or like, I love relatable moments like that, because it just makes me realize like we're all living the same life, you know, just in different places. Like we all go through these things.
Yep. Seriously.
Yeah.
Have you experienced being like backlash from the public and that melding over to your real life?
I would say yes. So you had mentioned earlier that, you know, this family could be in a lot of controversy at times, and people definitely have a lot of opinions about them. And a lot of times, you know, people get confused if I support the Kardashians or if I don't. And I've always been open and honest about that. I love them. I've always loved them. I've never said a bad thing about them. And I got a lot of backlash. I still get a lot of backlash for that. And so I just have to learn to balance it. But honestly, the backlash really doesn't bother me as much. There's always people that will defend me, which is wild. Like there are people fighting for me in the comment section, which is crazy to me. But, you know, we try not to listen to the backlash because it's all out of fun. And luckily I've been blessed by, you know, I've been given their blessings. You know, they interact with my content. They love my content. I recently went to LA to meet Kris Jenner, and I made a video for her, and she loved it. So, you know, knowing that I have their blessing, backlash to me just doesn't even matter. I don't even care.
And how does your family feel about what you do?
My family, so I do have like cousins and my aunts and uncles. They do follow me, and they just think I'm doing amazing. Like they're like, "Oh my gosh, I can't wait! Like I'm just waiting for her to call me. We can go to LA." Or my cousins are like, "Let me know when I can go to LA with you." But a lot of these things are work, so it's like, yeah, I can go to LA, but we're booked and busy. It's not like we're gonna be able to hang out at the beach. But we definitely got to do like a little more family trips. I think that'll be really fun. But they're very proud of me. And a lot of times when I have like writer's block or I'm just not in the best mood to create content, I'll like go to the store or I'll just be here at home and I get a text from my cousin saying like, "Oh, this girl, I work with this girl. She follows you, and I told her she's my cousin, and she doesn't believe me. Can I FaceTime you?" And it's moments like that that make me realize, okay, I have to keep going. We have to keep pushing. Do what you got to do to get back into that inspo space. But yeah, and I love that. I mean, I think my family has always been very proud of me, considering that I'm just a go-getter. I think I was like the third to graduate high school, the first to get into like a 4-year university, first to graduate and have a bachelor's in the family. And it's a lot. I think it just speaks very different levels. So they've always been really proud at whatever I've done.
So what was your background outside of this? Like, what did you want to do, or what was your plan? Like, what'd you go to school for and career-wise?
Yeah, I went to school for business management and I got my bachelor's. I guess it's a bachelor's of science in business management. I went to University of South Florida and
Wait, University of South Florida?
Yeah, USF. I went to USF.
I did too.
You did? Oh my gosh, what years?
Mass Communications 2010.
Oh my gosh. Wow. So you graduated to 2010. So okay. So I actually went in for the summer because my GPA was okay. No, my GPA was fine. It was my ACT scores. I didn't score that high. But so I had to get into like the summer program. So I was there in 2010, but barely.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
That's so cool.
What a small world, right?
Yeah, I graduated fall of 2010 that December, so I was just like trying to get out of there.
Oh my God, that's so cool. That's when I came in. I came in the summer and then the fall.
Okay, yeah, I was done by then.
That's so cool. And what landed you in Minnesota?
Long story.
Oh, okay.
Long story.
My boyfriend is a huge Minnesota Vikings fan. So
yeah,
we all have like Vikings jerseys.
My husband's family. So it was my husband's brother who lived in Minnesota at the time. So like it was definitely not a plan because Florida would still be Floridaing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Florida is crazy over here. All those crazy, every time I see a crazy video online, I'm like, they're from Florida. And yeah, it's always in Florida. Why? I swear we're not that weird.
It makes sense. That's a small world. That's interesting. Yeah. Okay, cool. USF Bulls. All right.
I know. Too bad the sports teams were never good, but
I never went to a single Bulls game the entire time.
Really? I think I did a couple times with my now boyfriend.
I think I did. I probably went to something. No, that was probably basketball. I went to something for like a newspaper thing that I was required to go to, but that's because I was part of the journalism.
Because you had to go.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Consistent.
Beautiful. Wow, we're a lot alike. Yeah. I also met he's my boyfriend now. We're still boyfriend and girlfriend, but
yeah.
We did meet in college.
Yep, serial monogamous.
That's funny. Hey, we don't like change.
No, I'm not good at that.
We're creatures of habit.
For real.
It's like you'll do.
Like you're in my life forever.
Yeah. Do you sign for this?
So I recently saw online that you did go on like a trip to Mexico.
Oh yes, I went with Patron.
Yeah, tell me about that.
It was so much fun. It was a brand trip. It was probably one of the most funnest brand trips I've ever been on.
Hmm.
Only because we went to Mexico.
Hmm.
So we went to Jalisco. It was just so much fun. Like I was telling you, like anything that has to do with the Mexican culture or any culture that's just deeply rooted in their culture, it speaks to me. It means so much to me. And the team that they've had with the Patron trip, like the Patron girls and like the team, they were also amazing. The influencers that they brought, these were like really amazing people, so down to earth. I had the most fun on this trip. It was a lot of fun. We learned how Patron makes their Patron, very clean and organic, and we learned the whole process of it, the distillery. We got to take pictures, and then they let us stay at La Hacienda, which is like their on-site hotel,
Hmm.
but it's just you, like it's by invite only. So it was gorgeous. It was so much fun. Anytime I get invited there, I will go again.
Now
But yeah,
that
I
this
just felt
is
like I was back home too. Like I love Mexico. Any chance I get to go to Mexico, I'm gonna go.
That's nice. Now that
Yeah,
this is like your life, like so you do this full time now, right?
yeah,
And like what does a regular day look like for you?
yeah. We're very me and my boyfriend and I. We're very much on a schedule.
Hmm.
Every hour of our days are scheduled out. He is. I'm so grateful because he's also an entrepreneur.
Hmm.
So we get each other's grinds, right? So he usually gets up before me. This is if we're talking about during the week. We share, I mean, we're together, but we share our son's responsibilities. So we swap out who walks the dog, whoever walks the dog, skips the nighttime routine with my son and vice versa, just like that. So that's on a daily, nightly basis. And then every week I take my son to school, and then Kenny, my partner, he'll pick him up and then he's with him in the evening. So a lot of the times when my son is in school full time, I'm just home creating content. So in the evening of every night, I make sure that I have the next day scheduled out and planned.
Hmm.
If anything unexpected is to happen, of course we have the flexibility to shift things around, but we're we're very much both supportive of each other's businesses and what we do. So it's really about making content, and it's the cadence, the posting schedule. So if I like to post like on Mondays and Wednesdays, so then the creativeness is really open on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then Fridays I'm not really keen on posting. And then I'm just like analyzing my analytics and seeing what we can do, and then trying to, get on TikTok, get a little scroll on to see if anything inspires me.
Hmm.
So yeah, but everything is on a schedule, like everything.
And now that you're part of the basically the Kardashian wheel, which is a very recognizable, situation. And you do really well in there and you look like them. You really do.
Oh, thank you.
So how does that work when you're out in public? Like I imagine you do get noticed a lot. And how do you handle that mental health wise?
Well, I do have a lot of anxiety, especially social anxiety.
Hmm.
So it's hard for me because I love meeting people and I think they're fun and amazing, and I wouldn't be where I am without them. So I will always give it back to them. But I do get a lot of social anxiety, and a lot of it is like self-inflicting anxiety because I think that they want something from me. So I always think of the movie Finding Nemo, when there's like, "Hey, you're a clownfish, right? Like make me laugh."
Yeah.
So like every time people are like, "Oh my gosh, you're that girl, the Kardashian girl. Like I love
Yep.
your videos. You're so funny." I'm like, "Thank you." And I feel so much pressure to turn it on,
Like get in
to
character.
do like yeah, to get in character, like do a quick Courtney impression, like make them laugh, but it's these voices in the head, it's all like it's the voices that are like, make them laugh, like show them that you are who you are, on the internet, you know, that's who you are in real life. Like, don't be me, you know? So I end up like just having a battle in my head that I can't even listen to what they're saying because my voices are so loud.
Mm-hmm.
But I practice it every chance that I get. And people will tell me like, "Oh, you're such a natural," but in my head, I'm fighting for my life because I love that, but I love them, and I wish if it's like, do you wish that you didn't have that, or do you wish you didn't have the social anxiety? I'm like, I definitely wish I didn't have the social anxiety because I feel like I could be more welcoming and more embrace them more, because then when we're done with the interaction, I'm like, oh my God, did I talk enough? Did I come off like off-putting? Like, do they think I'm like mean now? Like, do they think like, oh, she's not who she is on social media, I'm gonna unfollow her now. So it's really just self-inflicting. So it's difficult, but I love it, and I just gotta practice it more. It's all about, it's all about practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you handle do you put yourself first? Like what do you do to like prioritize your mental health?
Yeah, there's moments where I don't feel like creating, and those moments I won't create. I mean, I've created some of my worst content when I was just in a bad place.
Yeah.
And you have to really remember that you love doing what you do. Can't really look at it as a job because you chose to do this. And the good thing about this kind of job is you can choose to not show up anymore. You know, so there's not too much pressure to continue to show up unless you have this entrepreneurial spirit where you just can't stop. And I think that I have that as well. So it's really important to just listen to your mind and your body as well. I mean, there have been times where I'm like working, and then I get sick and my body just totally shuts down and I can't get out of bed. And I'm like, I need to get out of bed. And it's like your body is telling you to like slow down. Because it's very important to listen to your body. Yeah, mental health is a huge thing, especially with creators. A lot of people put a lot of pressure on creators to love what they do 24/7 and always be grateful and never show that you're not grateful. And I believe that we are all grateful, but there's just moments where sometimes our expectations are set to a higher regard than who we are as people.
Yeah.
Like there's been times where something is a sales pitch. Like I will go, let me see. Recently, I went to go get my nails done and I found this girl online and I was like, I really like your work. I would love, for you to do my nails. I'm going to a concert soon. And she's like, oh my gosh, yes, I would love that. So we scheduled something. And then the night before, she said something like, hey, I'll do your nails for free for like a free promo. And those are moments where it kind of sucks, because I'm like, no, I want to support you. I want to pay you. I want to like believe in you. I want to like support you. I want to invest in you. And this is me doing that like in the most organic way. And I just don't like to be seen like a poster ad, and that happens more often than not. But honestly, that's just me complaining because it's also a blessing. Because like before I would love it if somebody knew who I was. I would love it if someone would offer me a free service just for a free promo. So why do I complain about it now? I just don't like complaining. So sometimes like I'll get in that, but then I'm like, you know what? It's a blessing. It's a blessing. I just take it as that.
I get it. Because there's one part of it is like, it's good because you're getting these opportunities that you probably wouldn't have if it wasn't for the work you've done and that you've, put in. But then there's also this dehumanizing part of it where it's kind of taken away from your individuality as a person, which makes sense. But I think that's what you give up, I guess, when you become a little bit more notable. And that's the give and take in that.
Yeah. it is a give and take. So I think some creators have a hard time with the give and take.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned to accept it because there's a lot more. I've gotten so much more than what I've sacrificed. Because I still am who I am. I still have my morals and my values and my beliefs. Yeah, it's just those little things. But honestly, if that's my biggest issue, like, oh no, someone's asking you for something free. Like someone's asking you for a free, to do your nails for free. Like it's not a big deal.
Yeah. What advice do you have for content creators who are just starting out, who want to see that kind of success?
I would just say be yourself and try to be happy in life, and then show that through your social media. Mm-hmm. Don't fake the funk. Don't insult your audience like that, because people know when you're putting on a facade. People are not dumb. People will read right through you. So don't insult their intelligence. Like, just be who you are. Try to be happy in life. Once you find that happiness, get online and do something on social media. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people, try to chase the clout and chase the virality. And yes, virality is beautiful. It's amazing. It's such a high when your videos go viral, and you want to feel that forever. But it's important to just remember that you have to be yourself through all this, because people will read you. And because these are the people that make you, these are the same people that can break you. So I would say that.
What do you want for yourself next?
Next? Oh my gosh, what a good question. What do I want for myself next? I want to be able to touch more people. I want to be able to give back to my community more, to my culture more. Mm-hmm. I want to do scholarships for kids. I want to do, backpack drives for children. Now that I'm a mom, everything is like a touchy subject with kids, like when like a kid can't afford McDonald's, I'm like, oh my God, take all my money, like go to McDonald's every day, so I want to be able to just give back to the youth. And Kenny, my partner, he's always been very adamant about helping like the homeless, and he wants to do something here in Tampa because homelessness is very, it's pretty high here in Tampa, Florida. So I think once we can establish a really, really good foundation, we definitely want to give back there too. So yeah, okay. The schools, the students, the kids, and the homeless.
Cool.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you right now?
Right now? And what?
And why?
And why? I would say I'd probably say an 8, only because I think a 10, if I say 10, then I've reached my max, and I don't want to say I've reached my max. Okay. So I would say 8, but a lot of things are in the works, and a lot of things are going our way. So there's a lot of things to be excited about right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
So I got to do one fun thing before we go.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I got to have you do the voices.
Yeah, of course.
You're like, oh no.
Oh no, of course. I expect it on podcast.
But I thought it'd be fun to ask you some questions as the characters.
Yeah, for sure.
I wanted to first ask Kylie because I literally just watched this movie and I have no idea what I just watched. So I was interested in seeing if she knows what Timothy just played in. I wanted to ask Kylie, what is Dune about? Have you seen it?
No. I think Dune is about my boyfriend and just like the desert vibes. Ooh. That would be my Kylie. I have no idea what Dune is, but I've also heard people have no idea what Dune was about. Like they were
I
more confused.
I was so confused the whole time. And I'm one of those people who like really pays attention to like every detail. And I repeated like scenes so many times and I'm like, what am I watching? Like what am I
What is
watching?
it?
And I watch complicated storylines all the time. I'm like, this makes no sense. This makes no sense. I just know
Have you
in
seen?
the desert, there's a big worm trying to get us, and that's it.
Oh my gosh. I don't even think I watched the trailer. But have you seen the J-Lo movie? I heard it's as confusing.
I made it through like the first like 20 or 30 minutes. And
You're
then
the only one I've talked to and has
that's made it that far.
that's even tried watching it, honestly.
I
Or
attempted
at
because
least
so many
admitted it.
people kept talking about it and I seen so many skits about it that I was just like, I have to see what they're talking about. And then I was just like, okay, I can't do it. It's like one giant
AI, right?
music video.
Oh, it's one giant music video.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a musical movie music video. Very
Okay.
self-loving music video that you don't quite understand.
Like very autobiography.
I can't even say it's autobiography because it's very metaphorical.
Mm,
Hmm. It's
that's really weird.
symbolic because it's like people are in the factory and the factory is her heart and they're working on fixing her heart
That's so
and
weird.
they're in danger because the heart's going to explode, which is like the inside.
That's odd.
Yeah, I give up.
You got all that in 20 minutes? That's insane.
That's all I could grasp in the first 20 minutes, and I'm pretty
That's a
sure I'm
lot.
wrong.
It's like, all right, I have 1 million things I could be doing better.
My next question is for Chris. You know the Meg Thee Stallion's new song Hiss?
Yeah.
There's a line where she says, I'll say her vagina is so famous that it might get managed by Kris Jenner next. So I wanted to
Hmm.
know Chris's thoughts on managing Meg Thee Stallion's vagina next.
I will manage her all day, honey. Just give me the 10%. Chris would. She
Yes,
would.
you would.
Anything for the 10%.
Anything for that 10%. Martini in
Mhm.
hand.
Martini. Yabba dabba doo. She always says that. Yabba dabba doo. She's so cute. I love her.
She's so cute. I do love her. I would love to like just sit down and have dinner with them just to watch.
I know. Did you see that viral thing going around? It's like, oh, dinner with Jay-Z or $500,000 or whatever. And it's like,
Oh,
I would have dinner with Kris Jenner,
yeah.
not Jay-Z.
That'd be amazing.
Be Kris Jenner.
Okay, Kim, what do you think about Northy's new album title? I think it's Elementary School Dropout.
Oh yeah. Well, Northy's definitely not dropping out. Probably her dad or something that said that. But I love Northy, and she just has such a wild personality. She's so cute.
I like that one. Let's see, Courtney, what is next for you and Travis in the baby making world?
So, Travi and I want to make multiple babies. We named our baby Rocky 13. So, the next one will be like Rocky 12 up until we get to like 0.
Mm.
They're going to be so organic. The best vegan babies of the world. Yeah.
I love it.
It's so funny. I love Courtney. I love them all, honestly.
I love Courtney too. My favorite is definitely Chloe. So, Chloe, what is next for you in the love department?
Oh my gosh, never again. Love is just not for me. Just love is on Ozempic right now. There's just not there. I wish I had the nails. The nails would be so.
The nails is everything.
Not the love. Not the love again.
Kendall, are you back with Devin Booker, or is there a future for you?
Well, there's definitely a future for me. Hope there's not no future. But
No, I mean for you and Devin.
Oh, for Devin. Yeah, Devin's cool. I like hanging out with him. We ride horses together, literally ride horses, like literal every day, like in a literal sense. We ride horses and yeah, we just do everything fun. It's just some crazy, like literally fun. That's Kendall.
I love that. Thank you so much.
I love that.
Of course.
It was so good talking to you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you too. You have such a warm, like, aura to you.
With that. Thank you. You too. You're very down to earth, and I love that. I love being able to connect with you.
Thank you. You too. This was a lot of fun.
You just listened to an episode of Unapologetically Anxious Me, Confessions of a Haitian Girl with Yuri Lamasbella. Until next time, bye.